In this week's episode of Working with Work, it's all about hard edges. Hello, I'm Carl Pauline, and in this 30th episode of Working with Work, I want to talk to you about the hard edges between your applications. Now, what I'm talking about here is your calendar, your note-taking application, and your to-do list. One of the things I've seen with many of my clients in my mentoring program is they're actually putting notes into their to-do list manager, they're putting notes into calendar, they're putting tasks into their notes application, and it gets really confusing. And when you start doing that, your whole system starts to become overwhelmed. And you don't know where you've put the note, you don't know where you've put the actual important information, and you're not sure whether the actual note related to a meeting is in your calendar, or is it in the notes section of your to-do list manager, or is it in your note-taking application. And this really does cause all sorts of problems. And I remember seeing quite a few interviews with David Allen, the author of Getting Things Done, the book, the Bible that all us productivity people tend to follow. And he often does talk about the hard edges between your various applications that you're using. And I really do, and I have found, because I've made this mistake myself, that if you don't have a hard edge between what is a task, what is a note, and what is an event, you are going to start causing all sorts of problems within your system, and it's going to get very messy. Now, before I go into any more detail, I would just like to say, if you like this video, please hit the like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, because I do want to keep you all informed of all of these little tips and tricks that you can do to help yourselves to become more successful and more productive. Okay, what do we mean really about these hard edges? Well, a to-do list manager, let's start with your to-do list manager, and it really doesn't matter what you're using, whether you're using the basic task manager in your mobile device, or whether you're using something more advanced like OmniFocus or Todoist or Asana or Trello. It really doesn't matter. These applications are designed for tasks. These applications are designed to tell you what needs to be done. So, really basic idea, take the garbage out, buy a carton of milk, take the dog for a walk, although maybe that isn't something that you would necessarily put on a to-do list manager, but if you need reminding to take the dog for a walk, then fine, put it on your to-do list manager. But that is what tasks are. They are things that you must do. That's the way to think about it. So a task would have an action verb like call or take or write or design or something like that. They're kind of action verbs. That would make it a task. Notes, for example, are the things that support those tasks. Now let's say, for example, you're writing a report for your company. Now all the notes related to that report would be in your notes application, whether that's Evernote or your basic note-taking application in your mobile device, or it could be Ulysses or whatever note device application you're using. That's where you would keep the actual details of the report, the things that you want to put into the report. It would also contain any meeting notes that you might have, anything like that. That's what you put into notes. You do not put tasks into your notes. Now, if you're in a meeting and during the meeting you get given a few tasks to do, by all means write them into your notes. But as soon as the meeting is over, transfer those tasks into your to-do list manager. They are tasks, they are not notes. The final one is your calendar. Now your calendar are for events or places that you need to be. So think of it like appointments only and events only. Now, one of the things, for example, would be if you have a meeting at 10 a.m., then you would have that would be on your calendar. It would not be on your to-do list manager. Remember that. Preparing for the meeting, that is a task. Prepare for meeting, that would be on your to-do list manager. But the meeting itself, with the time and the place and perhaps the people you're meeting with, would be on your calendar. It would not be and should not be in your to-do list manager. The next thing I should say about this is about your calendar is if you've got a date night with your spouse or your partner, then that would be on your calendar. It wouldn't be on your to-do list manager. But ideas for a date night with your spouse or partner, that would be in your notes application. Now, how do you bring all this together? Because this is the key to bringing it all together into the perfect productivity system. Now, what I do is if I have a task, prepare for meeting at 10 a.m., then I would put a link to that task to the notes I have for that meeting in my note application. This is one of the reasons why I use Todoist and Evernote. So I use Todoist as my to-do list manager and I use Evernote as my note-taking application. The reason for that is I can link a specific note to my Todoist task. And that way all I have to do is when I see the task, prepare for 10 a.m. meeting, I click on the task, it will take me to exactly the right note in Evernote. The two work seamlessly together. Something, for example, let's take this a little step further. Let's say that the meeting that you have is not in your office, it's actually at another site. So on my calendar, I have a meeting at 10 a.m. in, let's say, Gangnam. I don't live in Gangnam, but I do live quite close to Gangnam. So I live in Seoul, for those of you who are new to this episode. So in Seoul, I would have a meeting in Gangnam, for example. Now, let's say I'm meeting at an office in Gangnam. I would actually put the address of that office into my calendar. I would not put that in my notes. I would not put that in my to-do list manager. That would be in my calendar. The simple reason is that if I get to Gangnam station and I want to find the office, all I need to do is click on the address. It would open up in my Maps application and it will give me the directions. If I'd put the address into Todoist, it would not do that. I would have to copy the address and then paste it into my notes application. Paste it into my map, and it's just fiddling about. If I put the address in my calendar, all I have to do is click on the link and it will open up in Maps and it will give me directions to the office. This is why hard edges really can work for you. So remember, the key here is if it's a task, if it's something that you must do, that goes into your to-do list manager. If it's a note, so it's a reference material to a task, that goes into your notes section and you create a link back to the task itself. So you just click on the link, opens up in your notes and you can just carry on doing the work. Events or appointments go onto your calendar. And you also need to put the address, if you need to put the address of the place that you're meeting or the event that you're going to, into your calendar so you can make it so much easier to use your mobile device to find the place that you're going to. So this is why hard edges between the three crucial things that you need to create the perfect productivity system is so important. You need to have a clear boundary between your to-do list manager, your note-taking application, and your calendar. Once you get those three things working together seamlessly, then you're onto something. Then you're going to find your productivity shoots through the roof. It really, really is a seamlessly workable system. And that is what you're looking for when you're creating your own personal productivity system. And it's something that I'm always looking at when I'm working with my clients and when I'm working with even my students here in Korea, is I'm trying to help them to set up a system that has really clear edges between so that they don't get overwhelmed with all the information. When they need to look for something to do, they open up their to-do list manager. When they need to find information regarding something they have to do, they can look at their notes section. And when they need to know where they have to be at a specific time, they use their calendar. And it really is that simple. And it's something that you really need to make sure that you're doing, is keeping those hard edges between your various applications. Okay, I hope you found this episode really useful. Don't forget, if you did like this video, click the like button below and subscribe to the channel. And if you have anything you'd like me to cover in these episodes, please just leave a comment in the comment section below and I will be more than happy to answer your questions and do an episode for you. Okay, thank you very much for watching this episode. I wish you all an incredibly productive week and I will see you in the next episode.